Just wanted to talk, that's all.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Joining me tonight is Jonna from Babes Media. Jonna covers all baseball, but is an unabashed, wears the pinstripes on her sleeve kind of gal. Loves the Yankees, and I welcome you, Jonna. How you doing?
Hey, I am so excited to be back. It's been a while, but I love that you've invited me to come back because I had a blast last time.
Well, we almost didn't have you. Apparently, there are tornadoes and storms, and the rapture basically happening right outside of Jonna's window. And we had some internet hiccups, but we're crossing our fingers that we'll stay stable for the next 20-25 minutes. I gotta say, of all of the Yankees fans that I follow on social media, you strike me as one of the only ones who I think could be as obsessed as I am. How many games do you watch per year, would you say?
Let's say this. I've missed one game and I rewatched it later.
Nice.
So I think I probably miss 3, maybe 4 games.
That's dedication.
Like pretty, I don't know, conservative.
That's dedication. I when I wasn't doing the podcast, I would generally like 1 or 2 games a year miss. But then like you, I would just wouldn't let anybody talk to me about it. I'd record it. I'd always watch it. So I had a streak there from about 1992 until I was in college in 01 where I saw every single game. And then I might have missed a couple in college. And then basically from 2005 until present day, maybe one, maybe in the last 20 years. So, it takes a lot of forgiveness from our friends and family. Hey, you want to come to this barbecue? No, it says the Yankees got a 1:00 game. Sorry. You know how it is.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like I get a lot of dirty looks in the store because there's just times I have to go to the store, but I can't not have the game on. So I just have it on. So sorry.
Yeah, I used to, when I would go play men's league softball or whatever, I would have the game on my phone, in the dugout and check between innings. And then when I was best man at my friend's wedding, after I gave my speech, I had the phone open at my table with ALCS game 1 with Tanaka pitching a couple years ago. So anyway, great times.
I think I was at a wedding that ALCS, was that the one against the Astros?
Yeah, one of them.
When I was definitely at a wedding that same night.
It must have been 2019, I think.
Yes, 2019.
Yeah, had to be. All right, so let's talk current state of the Yankees here. We'll get a little vibe check. So the Yankees right now, 36-22. They're on a 100-win pace. They lead the American League East by 5.5 games. They just went 6-3 on the road trip. That's pretty good for a West Coast trip. We'll get to the things that are maybe irking us later, but what are some of the positive things that have got you feeling good so far this year?
I mean, obviously, Judge, right? Having such a historic year. And honestly, before this series, our pitching has actually been outstanding, especially despite having Cole out for the year. So I feel pretty good about things. I mean, I think we all probably expected we were going to drop one to the Dodgers. We knew we weren't going to roll in there and sweep them, right? Max Fried was bound to have a game, a down game. If he's going to have a down one, let's have it be against the Dodgers because, chances are pretty good to lose against them anyway. So it's get it out of the way, go back home, get back on your streak.
I am glad we didn't get swept, though. I hate an off day after a loss. I really hate an off day after a sweep because you got to sit there and just marinate in it.
Yeah.
And, it felt good to get to Yamamoto and knock him out in the 4th inning. It would have been different if we won 1-0 against the bullpen or something like that. It was nice to kind of get that monkey off our back because he pitched so well against us last year in New York and then again in the World Series. And if we face off with him again this year in the World Series, the last memory that he's going to have is of Ben Rice hitting one, 425 feet to center field. And I just feel like it was important for the Yankees' psyche to finish off with a win. And now you don't have to, if you go 4 months without playing them, and then you have to face them again. You don't have to sit there and say, well, can we beat them? We know you can beat them. Should have beat them in game 1, game 2, whatever. That's going to happen. But I really feel like game 3 was important. I'm looking forward to Carlos Rodon in this upcoming series. I was telling my audience about a week ago, back in 2023, I used to dread when Carlos Rodon would pitch because I just felt like it just wasn't a good fit. He was giving up the home runs. He was pitching poorly. He didn't seem to have a great attitude about things. We had the incident with Matt Blake where he kind of turned his back, blowing kisses at the fans in Anaheim. But credit to this guy. Last year, he gets in shape. He has the best year of his career win total wise. I mean, he's had lower ERAs, but he had 2 great stretches sandwiched around a really bad stretch. This year, he's trying to put it all together for a full season. He's looked incredible, and now I find myself like really, really anticipating the days that Carlos Rodon pitches.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Obviously we never want to start a year without Cole, but I kind of feel like in hindsight, not having Cole at the beginning of last year was probably like the greatest blessing for Carlos Rodon because I feel like, coming off, I don't know if you remember, but when he was walking away from that Kansas City series in 2023, he's like, I'm going like MIA for the next couple of weeks. Like, I just need to get out of like the media. I need to go like get my head right. And so, coming back into 2024, like, I feel like not having Cole for a little bit gave Rodon the chance to kind of settle in and be like the guy. And he was that, and again, this year, like having him and Fried be like the 1-2 punch, I just feel like, he's been given a little room to like work his way into kind of one of those ace spots.
Yeah. Speaking of Max Fried, I mean, he's been worth every penny. I know that we lost on Friday night, his first L of the season, but he, like you said, he wasn't going to go undefeated. Are you thinking this guy could start the All-Star game? Would we even want him to start the All-Star game? I love seeing a Yankee like start the All-Star game or be in the All-Star game, but then part of me is like, oh man, don't get hurt. Don't like wear yourself out. Don't have anything that's going to prevent you from playing well in the second half. But I still think it would be cool to see him throw at least like an inning or 2.
Totally. Yeah, I can see it. But I'm with you. I'm like, let's just, take those days, relax, get your rest in. And I mean, the league loves Skubal so much that he'll probably be the guy. But
yeah, I agree with you. And, he probably should be. He's got the nastiest stuff in the American League. I would love to see a Paul Skeens versus Tariq Skubal All-Star game. That'd be pretty fun. I don't buy into any of the rumors of Paul Skeens. I've seen Yankees fans throwing his name out there. I've seen baseball fans in general throwing his name out there. I think it's more wishful thinking because a pitcher that good shouldn't be on a team that bad during their prime. It's like, it's like when it's like when Barry Bonds was on some of those really bad teams, right? It's just a waste. And so people are undoubtedly just kind of wishful thinking, but I don't think we're going to see Skeens get moved. All right, so let's turn the page here and talk about kind of what's on our mind that's keeping us up at night. We've had some issues in the bullpen. Devin Williams, we've had some guys that got hurt, obviously. Giancarlo Stanton, can he stay healthy? Jazz Chisholm wasn't exactly tearing the cover off the ball. Will Warren just got demolished by the best lineup he's ever faced. Will that put him into kind of a tailspin? Is there anything on your mind that's kind of like, all right, this is bothering me. We got to do something about this.
Yeah, I mean, with regard to the bullpen, like I feel like Williams is settling into that setup spot, but the thing that probably concerns me the most there is who do we have that can eat up innings if we need it? And we've been pretty fortunate that our starting rotation has been pretty solid. So we haven't had a lot of games where we've had to eat up the bullpen. But, obviously the other night was one of them. And it's like, who do we go to? Mark Leiter Jr. has been incredible and he can be that guy. But like, if he's not available or whatever, it's like, I don't know, maybe Loaizaga. I don't know. Having him back is going to be huge for that. But yeah, it's like, that's probably been one of my biggest concerns with the bullpen. Weaver, obviously, I don't know what he's got going on with this hamstring. That's concerning. So yeah, everyone needs to join the prayer circle now. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, Volpe. We have some infield concerns too. Like obviously with what's going to happen with second base, with third base. Are we going to be proactive at the deadline? Are we not? Are we riding with DJ? Like what's going on there? So that's
Yeah.
all concerning to me too. And like I think anytime Boone is faced with like too many decisions to juggle, he fumbles. So that's
Yeah.
also concerning,
I,
you know.
I kind of get that same feeling, and we got some comments, some big Boone fans in the comments. Look, I mean, as far as problems go, the problems the Yankees have are not too severe. I mean, losing Garrett Cole was our biggest problem of the year. It's hard to get tough to get worse than that. I mean, obviously, if you lose Aaron Judge, that's the nuclear blast that to your hopes. But I think that for the most part, the problems the Yankees have are not huge ones. I mean, you can fill out the rotation, you can fill out the bullpen. I have no doubt that Brian Cashman is working the phones and that he's planning to get somebody. One issue that I do want to see resolved is one that we've talked about a lot on this show, and that's Stanton and Ben Rice. So Giancarlo Stanton is taking at bats. He's running the bases as best as he can. I'd be surprised if we don't see him in the next few weeks. And, as ALCS MVP, I'd have a hard time believing that Boone is going to sit him. When he comes back, you don't lose a job to an injury if you're that guy, right? If you're that dangerous. And apparently he's going to be using the torpedo bat to hit the ball a little bit harder, which makes me worry about the health of the American League pitchers. But Ben Rice continues to rake. He's got a 144 OPS plus, so he's been 44% better than the league average. He's got 12 home runs. He's already compiled a 1.1 WAR, which is more than Stanton had in 2024, 2023, 2022, 2020, or 2019. So Ben Rice is getting it done, right? So how do you handle this, and what do you think the Yankees are going to do?
Oh my God. Like you can't take Ben Rice out of the lineup. You just can't. And like we've seen that. I mean, even in the Dodgers series when he was out game 2, like you just can't have Ben Rice not in the lineup. So it's like, what do you do? Early on, I was saying, let's maybe, rotate, giving like Goldie days off, giving Wells days off and Stanton days off, and just kind of like rotate them around. But then it's like, what do you do with Ascara? Like, is Benny just then the permanent backup catcher? I don't know. Like Ascara's been pretty solid actually. So it's like you hate to see him go. Like
I like Ascara. I like him a lot. I mean, and even if you make Ben Rice the backup catcher, that doesn't solve the problem of getting him at bats, right? You still got to figure out a way. If we had Terrence Kemp on the show last night. And he suggested some kind of a Frankenstein procedure to put Oswald Peraza's arms and his ability to field the baseball onto Ben Rice's body. I don't know if there's enough time for that
or
this
even
year.
DJ's, DJ's fielding is still really solid too. It's like,
right.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you teach Ben Rice how to play second or third? Like that's crazy talk, but
I mean, I don't think it's that crazy. I mean, if you got a 900 OPS, right, you got to figure out a way. There's this old adage in baseball that if you can play first base, you can play third base and vice versa. Because they're kind of the same position, just mirror images of one another. The only difference being at third base, there's a couple of additional plays that you don't have at first base. So at third base, you have to turn the round the horn, double play. At first base, you pretty much only have to throw to second and then get back to cover. It's a little different. At third base, I mean, it does require a better arm, but he was a catcher. I mean, a catcher has a good arm typically, and catchers are supposed to have a quick release. So
and IQ.
And IQ, right, yeah. If I'm the Yankees, I'm trying Ben Rice at third base. I'm sorry. And apologies to Oswald Peraza or DJ LeMahieu or Jazz Chisholm or whoever's got to sit. You know what? Have a 900 OPS, and then maybe you won't sit. I think that's what you got to do. The only other option I can think of that's plausible is that you do some kind of a platoon situation where you create this kind of monster of Stanton versus lefties and Rice versus righties. But the problem there is that you don't really face enough lefties to keep getting Stanton regular at-bats to where he's going to be in a rhythm. He's one of those guys, like we see him get time off with an injury. It takes him 2-3 weeks to get into rhythm. So you don't want to screw that up, and then you're just turning it into a black hole. So, I mean, I think this is a genuinely tough problem for the Yankees to have. I will say this. if Ben Rice gets sent down for some reason, I am going to lose my shit.
We will all rage. Like, we will. Like, that's just, we riot.
New York City burns if Ben Rice gets sent down. All right, quick word from our friends at Arena Club. We're going to talk about Jason Dominguez here real quick. So, Jonna, my favorite part of this season has been the walk-off home run from Jason Dominguez. It was beautiful. I made a little South Park version of it on my Instagram, which I love. I might have to have it printed and put it on my wall. But my second favorite moment was a 3-home run game by Jason Dominguez. I love it when prospects that I really am looking forward to actually start to pan out and turn it on. Now, I know his numbers aren't incredible, but he's still 17% above league average with a 117 OPS. He does have 25 ribbies through the first, 58 games. He's got 6 homers. He's got a 346 on-base percentage, which is really, really solid for a 22-year-old rookie. What are your thoughts on Dominguez? You think he's going to live up to the hype? Do you think he's turning the corner maybe?
I really do. I think that's like so valuable to have that guy at the bottom half of your lineup. Like, you can't, that's a great way to turn the lineup over. Having Dominguez, I really think he's settling in. I think he's looking more and more comfortable in left field. Like there was a lot of concern there at first. There's probably still a little bit of concern there, but I do think he's settling in, and like more repetition, the better.
Yeah, he's getting better. He's getting better.
Yeah, he totally is.
And I love him as a base runner. You know, it's so nice to see a guy who gets good reads. Like even yesterday, great read on the bases. He accelerates really fast. Like he goes from, basically stopped to being full speed after like 2 steps. It's incredible. I don't know if I've ever seen it like it. And you can see why people compared him to like Mike Trout and Bo Jackson, not necessarily because of the overall baseball talent yet, but the way he's built like a running back, right? He looks like just a brick wall that can move really fast. So I'm loving what we're seeing from this kid. Right now, do you think he's got a chance to win Rookie of the Year?
I do.
I agree with you. Yeah. I hope so. Well, we'll see. We're going to root for Dominguez here, the Martian. All right, so thanks to our friends at Arena Club, and they did send us a little present, which I am going to show you guys right now, a little slab pack. Here we go. All right, let's check out the slab pack that we ripped from our friends at Arena Club. And it is Miguel Cabrera. Nice. Sure thing Hall of Famer, Triple Crown winner. We might see another Triple Crown winner this year with Aaron Judge. But Miguel Cabrera, thank you to Arena Club. And remember, right now you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/foul and use the code FOUL. That's arenaclub.com/foul, code FOUL for 20% off your first purchase.
I can't even believe it.
All right, Jonna.
That's some good juju, because wasn't Miggy the last AL Triple Crown winner?
He was, and so that was total. And the last one I got was Griffey. So like they've really hooked me up. I mean, it could be anybody. Like it could be just some random nobody, and we've gotten 2 really good ones in a row. So shout out to Arena Club. And last thing I want to just ask you here as we close out, and I'll let you get back to your thunderstorm. I know everybody loves a nighttime thunderstorm to relax, and I don't want to take away from your relaxation out there. But trades. Obviously, we're about 61 days out from the trade deadline. Is there anyone specific that you've got on your mind? Yankees got to go get him. I feel like there's nobody this year that really stands out. Every year there seems to be that guy, right? One year it was Frankie Montas or Joey Gallo. It was like Benintendi. It's like they always go get that guy. I don't know who that guy is this year.
I don't know who that guy is either. I just don't have my thumb on the pulse this year of like what we should go after. But I've been seeing the last couple of days DeGrom. Obviously, he's having an incredible year. Looking back in DeGrom form, so I don't know. I wouldn't hate that. But yeah, I think we have to add to the rotation.
Yeah, I think we've got to as well. I mean, I was going back and forth on it, but having watched Will Warren in this last outing, like it's clear that he's not going to phase a team like the Dodgers. And if you get to the postseason, you're going to have to face great lineups, and I just don't feel 100% confident in him yet. And Clark Schmidt, I mean, even though he's been solid, I mean, I think there's still room for improvement there. Again, I don't know who's available that we could go out and get for a reasonable price, but if I was Brian Cashman, I would be starting the phone calls right now as we, a couple months out. But Jonna, I want to thank you. Everybody go follow Jonna on social media. Where can they find you?
So I'm on Instagram at Babes Media, and then most of you probably follow me on Twitter at 90s Yanks Kid. I am JP Yankees Girl on Twitter.
Well, Jonna, I appreciate it. Everybody, please go follow Jonna, and we'll definitely have you back again after the trade deadline to talk about how it all went down and if it worked out the way we thought. Everybody, please like, subscribe, all that fun stuff that YouTubers tell you to do, and we'll see you next time. If you made it this far, do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join our community. You can also be a part of the show by calling in at 718-899-1068. Also, part of the way that we maintain and fund all of this is through nydesigns.shop. Check it out now. Get all sorts of fun Yankees merch, hats, hoodies, zip-ups, beanies, mugs, you name it. We've got it. Check it out, nydesigns.shop. And check out Pinstripe Territory on all your favorite podcast platforms. We are the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We're here for post-game shows after every single game, and we're here before a lot of games to talk about the game, preview the lineup, the pitching matchups, and things like that. And we're here all off-season to talk about the latest in Yankees rumors, news, etc. Join our community. We'll see you next time.